Hey guys, today is a little bit not of a clickbaity video. Today I want to talk about the benefits of me quitting an alcohol for a year and talk about some of the pros and hidden joys that I found while quitting alcohol. Enjoy. So as most of you know, I like the time, money, energy balance. Now, I'm not here to argue the high cost of money for alcohol. It's pretty obvious especially for people in the UK. I'm not here to talk about the time that it saves. Today I'm here to talk about energy because I don't feel like I made enough video about energy levels, motivation and balance. If you don't have time, if you don't have money, if you have high energy, high enthusiasm, high motivation, high focus, you will be able to get your work done. If you weren't tired after work, your full-time job, then you have enough motivation and energy and drive to do your work. That's what energy is. That's what the energy balance is. However, after a full day's worth of work, your energy levels are probably drained because you haven't seen sunlight, you haven't moved that much, if you have a desk job and all this other stuff. And I wanted to add in why I quitted alcohol into my life. Now, fundamentally, alcohol, when you're like a freelancer or not an entrepreneur or whatever, essentially days off are expensive. So when you're in a full-time job, you might get sick leave, you might get, you literally just get paid to do your job. So it's not as expensive. But when you're a freelancer, these are days you can't make money, essentially. So because you're still giving your time as a freelancer, but you just don't get paid. So you get paid high to offset for the fact you got to take into account your sick days and your things. So your health is actually the biggest factor to increase the days you can work. And if you also add in alcohol, which is essentially adding poison to your body, then it has a mix. Now, not to say that you know, some people think alcohol is a personality, some people think it makes it fun. I'm not here to argue the alcohol balance. I'm here to tell you one little joy that I happened to find by quitting alcohol for a year. And that's simply, in the UK, alcohol is a very common thing for when you go for a wedding. But for the first time, for the last year, I went to about 3 weddings and congratulated to my friends who are getting married and all this other stuff and getting babies now. But during a wedding, one of the most common things to do is to drink. And so no one when they go to a wedding drives their own car. Now for me, I was able to drive my own car because I decided to quit myself to never drink again. And one of the things that I could do was actually my fiance and me can put more stuff in the car because we're taking our car. It's just a giant suitcase. She could take her makeup. She could take her more comfortable shoes. She doesn't have to wear heels all day. In my case, I took some aftershave, some spare boxers and socks just in case I needed it. But it was just a giant suitcase and it was a much more comfortable journey to the wedding. The another benefit was I could also make sure, and as a person who likes to give, like care for my friends and family, while they're in this vulnerable, intoxicated state, I could ensure, and this is something that I couldn't ensure when I was drunk, but I could ensure their guarantee of safety to X, Y, and Z. Whether that's going out for a meal to McDonald's, which by that's another joy, and ensure that they are looked after and well hydrated so that the next day hangover isn't as bad. And that's a level of care that I could never do because I could only see the other side. Like, obviously, if I'm sleeping in the house and they go to a wedding and they come home 3 in the morning, I'd be annoyed. But because I was part of the sleep deprivation, I was completely fine with it. And I was actually happy to serve them and help them and get them fed, get them, drinking water and take them home. Now, obviously, the next day, speaking of health, because I didn't have a hangover after the wedding, I just went straight to my workout, my morning routine, my cold plunges and all that kind of stuff. And I could get straight back to focused work mode. But my friends and my family and my fiance would all just be a little bit hungover, a little bit drunk, They're not feeling too great and they want shitter food. One other interesting observation I had was when, fundamentally your health, which is, your time, your health is your sleep, exercise and diet. And right now, because in diet, we're adding alcohol. But because I didn't have alcohol, because I had low sleep, because I went to a wedding, and because my diet was crap, I had sugary drinks, I had excess food, maybe some McDonald's, and so the only thing I could control was exercise. But if I add alcohol to that mix, I can't exercise at all. And one thing that I just observed was that even with the sleep deprivation and just the diet, a bad diet of excess food and sugary food and all that kind of stuff, my body felt not 100% still. And actually, a lot of the hangover stuff that I felt, that I used to feel, was actually due to sleep deprivation and bad diet. Actually, it's not as bad as a hangover, don't get me wrong. Alcohol does compound the whole benefit. But I don't think most people know what a hangover is like from having too much sugar and sleep deprivation. Because they normally have, it's just a triple whammy when we have bad alcohol. There's a lot of insights that we can gather by trying these kind of stuff. I'm not saying I don't know what your personal paradigm and your belief of alcohol is. But also for me, I want to make a YouTube video about alcohol so you guys can know that I'm actually talking about time, money, and energy balance. The only thing you can control it is to exercise. And the exercise allows you to be disciplined to yourself, which allows you to be disciplined to work. I've cut alcohol in my life. I do have alcohol planned for a holiday trip in April. So that's like a year and 4 months I haven't drank. And even then, it's a spectrum, right? You can go full, let me just hide myself. You can go, let's just say I'm drinking 10 pints. I don't think I've ever done that, but let's just say I did, yeah? It's a spectrum. Here's 0 and here's 10. Let's just have 1 or 2. It doesn't have to be all in or nothing. So you guys can cut back slowly, or you can guys go just cut to 0. I quit 0 for a year, and I had holidays, I had wedding events, and there was so much joy and things I could do for my loved ones in that vulnerable state that I didn't realize that there was so much things I could do. I'm sorry for the ramble. I didn't know what this video ended up being, but I hope that was interesting at the very least. If you are a solopreneur, I do highly recommend you cut alcohol in your life, mainly because sick days are expensive for you, let alone your hangover days, and hangover days are self-inflicted. That's about it. I hope that you found that useful, guys. See you guys later.